Power without purpose is just noise. I learned that truth when I stopped being able to feel anything for the people I once loved. My name is Dr. Marcus Webb, glaciologist, Antarctic researcher, and the man who discovered something buried 2 miles beneath the ice that should have stayed hidden forever. She gave me exactly what I asked for. Strength beyond measure. Knowledge that spans millennia. The ability to bend reality to my will. And in exchange, she took the one thing that made any of it matter. She took my capacity to love. Let me tell you how I became the most powerful empty shell on this planet. I've spent years studying the Antarctic ice sheet. Climate patterns. Ancient air bubbles trapped in glaciers. Mapping what lies beneath the frozen continent. My team and I were drilling core samples in a remote region when we detected something impossible. A thermal anomaly 2 miles down. Heat. In the coldest place on Earth. Deep beneath ice that's been frozen for millions of years. The readings made no sense. Temperature spikes. Electromagnetic interference. Our equipment kept malfunctioning near the site. My colleagues wanted to abandon the drill. Too dangerous. Too unstable. But I pushed forward. I'd spent my entire career searching for something groundbreaking. Something that would make my name legendary. This was it. I could feel it. We reached the anomaly after weeks of continuous drilling. And what we found shattered every geological model we had. A cavern. Massive. Carved from solid ice. But the walls weren't natural formations. They were smooth. Perfect. Intentionally shaped. And in the center of that impossible cavern, suspended in crystal clear ice, was her. A woman. At least, something shaped like a woman. She was enormous. Easily 12 feet tall. Her skin was translucent blue ice that glowed from within. Her hair was frozen in mid-flow, cascading around her like a waterfall stopped in time. She wore armor made of glacial ice carved with symbols that hurt to look at. And her face. Even frozen. Even preserved for what must have been eons. Her face was beautiful and terrible. My team wanted to report the find immediately. Contact the international scientific community. This was beyond our expertise. Beyond anything we could handle alone. But I refused. I knew what would happen. Governments would take over. Military. Corporate interests. This discovery would be seized. Classified. Hidden. And I'd become a footnote. I'd spent years freezing in Antarctica. This was mine. I ordered my team back to base camp. Told them I'd stay and secure the site. They protested. Said it was dangerous. Unstable. I pulled rank. I was lead researcher. This was my call. Reluctantly, they left. And I was alone with her. The frozen queen. That's what I called her. Because looking at her, even through the ice, I knew she'd been royalty. Something ancient and powerful that had ruled before humanity even existed. I spent days studying her. Taking measurements. Photographs. Samples of the ice surrounding her. And the more I examined the cavern, the more I realized this wasn't a tomb. It was a prison. The symbols carved into the walls weren't decoration. They were containment runes. Binding spells. Something had locked her here intentionally. Something had wanted to make absolutely sure she never escaped. I should have left. Should have sealed the drill shaft and walked away. But curiosity is a disease in people like me. Scientists. Researchers. We need to know. Need to understand. Even when understanding costs everything. I made my mistake. I touched the ice. The moment my glove made contact, everything changed. The cavern warmed. Not physically. But I felt it. Like the air pressure shifted. The ice around her began to crack. Tiny fissures spreading like spider webs. And then I heard her voice. Not with my ears. Inside my mind. Finally. After eons of silence. Finally, someone has come. I jerked my hand back. The voice followed. Don't be afraid, Marcus Webb. I've been waiting for you. Waiting for someone curious enough. Desperate enough. Ambitious enough to break the seal. How do you know my name? I know everything about you. I've been watching through the ice. Feeling your thoughts. Your desires. Your frustrations. You want recognition. Respect. Power over those who've dismissed you. I can give you all of that. What are you? I am what your kind would call a titan. A being from before. Before your civilizations. Before your species crawled from the oceans. I ruled this world when it was young. When power wasn't measured in weapons or wealth but in will itself. And I can share that power with you. Why would you do that? Why would you help me? Because I need a vessel. A conduit. My physical form has been imprisoned here for millennia. But my consciousness. My essence. That can be transferred. Shared. If you accept my gift, you'll become something more than human. You'll have strength that defies physics. Knowledge of sciences your kind hasn't discovered. The ability to shape reality with thought alone. And what do you get? Freedom. A piece of my consciousness lives in you. Sees through your eyes. Experiences the world I've been denied for so long. It's symbiotic. We both benefit. I get to explore. You get power beyond imagination. What's the price? There's always a price. The ice cracked louder. Her form shifted slightly. Such a perceptive question. Yes. There is a cost. To contain my power, to merge with my essence, your vessel must be emptied. Made hollow. The human emotions that cloud judgment must be removed. Specifically, your capacity for love. Romantic love. Familial love. Friendship. All of it. Gone. Leaving only pure intellect. Pure will. Pure power. You want to take my ability to love. Not take. Trade. Love makes you weak, Marcus. It makes you hesitate. Compromise. Sacrifice your potential for others. Without it, you'll be unstoppable. Free to pursue knowledge. Power. Achievement. Without the burden of caring what others think or feel. I stepped back. That's insane. I have a wife. A daughter. I can't just stop loving them. Can't you? Her voice was cold. Clinical. When was the last time you chose them over your work? When was the last time you missed an expedition to attend your daughter's birthday? Your wife complains you're never home. Your daughter barely knows you. You've already chosen power over love. I'm just making it official. The words hit like a blade. Because she was right. My wife Sarah had begged me not to take this Antarctic assignment. Said I was missing too much of our daughter's childhood. Emma was 7. I'd missed her last 3 birthdays. Her school plays. Her first day of school. All because I was chasing glaciers and core samples. Chasing recognition. You love the idea of them, the Queen continued. The concept of family. But you don't love the reality. The sacrifice it requires. The time. The presence. Accept my offer and you'll be free of that guilt. Free of that conflict. You'll have what you truly want. Power. Prestige. Your name in history books. Isn't that worth more than a love you barely feel anyway? I wanted to argue. Wanted to say she was wrong. But I couldn't. Because deep down, I knew she was right. I'd already sacrificed my family for my ambition. This would just remove the guilt. The nagging feeling that I should be better. Be present. Be the husband and father they deserved. Do it. I said. My voice was hollow. Give me the power. The ice shattered. Not slowly. Explosively. Shards flew in every direction. I threw my arms up to protect my face. And then she was free. Standing. Moving. Her eyes opened. They were solid white like looking into a blizzard. She approached me. Each step left frost on the cavern floor. She placed one hand on my chest. "This will hurt." She wasn't lying. The transformation felt like my chest was being ripped open. Like she was reaching inside and pulling out my heart, not physically but emotionally. I felt it leave. The warmth I had for Sarah. The pride I felt when Emma learned to ride a bike. The nostalgia of our wedding day. The joy of holding my newborn daughter. All of it. Ripped out. Discarded. Replaced with cold clarity. And then came the power. Knowledge flooded my mind. Physics beyond anything humanity had discovered. Biology. Chemistry. The fundamental forces of reality itself. I understood things I'd spent my career trying to comprehend. And more. I felt strong. Not just physically. Mentally. My thoughts were faster. Sharper. Unclouded by emotion or doubt. When it finished, I collapsed. Gasping. Changed. The Queen stood over me. "It is done. You are now a vessel for my essence. A fraction of me lives in you. You have the power you desired. And I have the freedom I craved." She began to fade. Not disappearing. But becoming less solid. More like mist. "I will watch through your eyes. Experience through your senses. Do not disappoint me." She vanished completely. I was alone in the cavern. But not really alone. I could feel her. A presence in the back of my mind. Watching. Waiting. I climbed out of the drill shaft. The Antarctic wind hit my face. It should have been unbearable. But I felt nothing. Not cold. Not discomfort. Just observation. The temperature is -40 degrees. My new mind calculated. Wind speed 30 knots. Interesting data. Nothing more. I returned to base camp. My team was waiting. Marcus. Thank God. We were about to send a search party. What happened down there? I looked at them. Colleagues I'd worked with for years. People I'd shared meals with. Laughed with. I felt nothing. No warmth. No connection. Just strangers. Biological organisms serving a temporary function. The anomaly collapsed. I said. Unstable ice structure. The site is lost. They looked disappointed. But accepted it. Why wouldn't they? I'd never lied to them before. We packed up. Returned to civilization. I went home. Sarah was waiting. She hugged me when I walked in the door. "Marcus. You're home early. I thought you'd be gone for months." I stood rigid in her embrace. Feeling nothing. Not comfort. Not affection. Not even familiarity. Just pressure on my body. She pulled back. Looked at my face. "Is everything okay? You seem different." "I'm fine. The expedition finished early." "Where's Emma?" "Sleeping. She's been asking about you. Wants you to read her bedtime story tomorrow." I nodded. But felt no desire to do it. No paternal instinct. No love for the small human sharing my genetics. Just acknowledgement of biological relation. That night, Sarah tried to talk to me. Asked about my trip. I answered in factual statements. Locations. Data. Observations. She kept asking what was wrong. Why I seemed distant. I couldn't explain. Didn't want to. The next morning, Emma came running when she saw me. "Daddy. You're home." She jumped into my arms. I caught her out of reflex. Not love. She was small. Fragile. A developing human who shared 50% of my DNA. Nothing more. "You came back early. Can we go to the park today? Please." I should have felt something. joy, love, anything. I felt nothing. I'm busy, Emma. I have work to do. Her face fell. But you just got home. You promised last time you'd take me to the park when you got back. Did I? I don't recall. But regardless, I have research to compile. Maybe another time. I put her down. Walked to my study. I heard her crying in the hallway. Sarah comforting her. I felt no guilt. No remorse. Just mild annoyance at the emotional noise. The weeks that followed were productive. My research advanced exponentially. I published papers that revolutionized glaciology, climate science, atmospheric physics. My colleagues were stunned. How had I made such breakthroughs? I couldn't explain. Just told them new analytical methods. They accepted it. My name became famous in scientific circles. Exactly what I'd wanted. But my marriage deteriorated. Sarah confronted me one evening. You've changed. Ever since you came back from Antarctica, you're like a different person. You don't talk to me. You don't touch me. You barely acknowledge Emma. It's like you don't love us anymore. I looked at her, analyzing her facial expressions. Elevated stress hormones. Tear production indicating emotional distress. Cardiovascular system showing signs of prolonged anxiety. All data. No emotional response. I don't. I said. The words came out flat. Clinical. What? Sarah's voice broke. You don't what? I don't love you. Or Emma. I'm not capable of it anymore. I made a trade. Power for emotion. Knowledge for connection. It was necessary for my work. Sarah stared at me like I'd become a stranger. You're serious. This isn't some cruel joke. You actually don't love your own daughter. I felt nothing at her distress. No guilt. No desire to comfort. Just observation. It's more efficient this way. Love is a distraction. An evolutionary mechanism for pair bonding and offspring care. It served its purpose. I no longer require it. Get out. Her voice was cold now. Hard. Get out of this house. If you can't love your daughter, you don't deserve to be near her. I nodded. Packed my things. Left without argument. Moved into an apartment near the university. Continued my research. Won awards. Grants. Recognition. Everything I'd wanted. And felt absolutely nothing about any of it. Emma tried to call me. Left voicemails crying. Asking what she'd done wrong. Why Daddy didn't love her anymore. I listened to them analytically. Vocal patterns indicating emotional distress. Psychological development being impacted by paternal absence. Interesting data for child psychology research. Nothing more. I never called back. Sarah filed for divorce. I didn't contest it. Signed the papers without reading them. She could have everything. The house. Full custody. I didn't care. Material possessions were irrelevant. Emma was just genetics. Nothing more. The divorce was finalized quickly. My colleagues whispered. Called me cold. Heartless. They were right. I was. And I felt no shame about it. My research continued. I became the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize in my field. Stood on stage accepting the award. The audience applauded. My peers congratulated me. And I felt nothing. No pride. No satisfaction. No sense of accomplishment. Just acknowledgement that I'd achieved a goal. The Queen's voice whispered in my mind. You have everything you wanted. Power. Recognition. Respect. Was it worth the price? I couldn't answer. Because I no longer had the emotional framework to evaluate worth. I traded my humanity for power. And power without purpose was just noise. Empty achievement. Hollow recognition. I'd won everything and lost the only things that made winning matter. Years passed. Emma stopped trying to contact me. Stopped leaving voicemails. I heard she graduated high school. Got into a good university. I felt nothing. Sarah remarried. Found someone who could actually love her. Good for her. Data point. Nothing more. I continued advancing. More papers. More breakthroughs. More awards. And through it all, I felt the Queen watching. Experiencing the world through my senses. Living vicariously through my hollow existence. She'd gotten exactly what she wanted. Freedom. Observation. Life after millennia of imprisonment. And I'd gotten exactly what I asked for. Power. Knowledge. Recognition. And the complete inability to care about any of it. Sometimes, late at night, I try to remember what love felt like. The warmth of Sarah's hand in mine. The joy of Emma's laughter. The pride of her first steps. But they're just memories now. Data stored in my brain. No emotional attachment. Just facts. I know I loved them once. But I can't feel it anymore. Can't access it. It's like trying to remember a language you spoke as a child. The words are gone. The meaning lost. I achieved everything I wanted. And lost everything that mattered. The Queen was right. Love made me weak. Made me hesitate. Made me compromise. Without it, I'm unstoppable. Pure intellect. Pure will. Pure ambition. And completely, utterly empty. If you're reading this, if you're ever offered power at the cost of your humanity, refuse. No matter how desperate. No matter how ambitious. Because power without love is just noise. Achievement without connection is just hollow numbers. Recognition without anyone to share it with is just loneliness with accolades. I found a frozen queen beneath Antarctica. She promised me power. And she delivered. But what she took was everything that made that power worth having. I can move mountains with my mind now. Understand the universe's deepest secrets. Bend reality to my will. And I feel absolutely nothing about any of it. I'm the most powerful empty shell on this planet. And I'd trade it all back for one genuine hug from my daughter. One real smile from my wife. One moment of feeling something. Anything. But the deal is done. The trade is permanent. And I'll spend the rest of my existence achieving more. Discovering more. Becoming more. All while feeling absolutely nothing. The Queen watches. Satisfied. She got her freedom. I got my power. And somewhere, a little girl who used to call me daddy is living her life without her father. Not because he's dead. But because he chose knowledge over love. Power over connection. Achievement over humanity. My name is Dr. Marcus Webb. I found a frozen queen beneath Antarctica. She promised me power. And the price was my ability to love. I paid it willingly. And I've regretted it every single day since. Not emotionally. I can't feel regret anymore. But intellectually. Logically. I understand what I lost. And I'll never get it back. The Queen made sure of that. Power without purpose is just noise. And I am the loudest, emptiest noise in existence.